Welcome to the Perspective Podcast. This has been 3 years in the making, quite literally, and we are officially underway.
We actually got this idea when we were in Dubai, and we would constantly be late going to the gym because we'd be having so many conversations with each other.
Yeah.
And we would end up saying, oh my God, that should be in a podcast. We should have recorded that.
Yeah.
And it's just been endless conversations like that have built to this podcast.
I think Mom and I just realized so many of our conversations that we have on a regular daily basis just need a mic in front of us. And that's what this is. And I think the perspective itself is pretty special to us because what does the perspective mean? The perspective is quite simple, and the belief and philosophy behind it is that a singular shift in perspective can change the world. I personally think that the more and more you think about it, the deeper you dive into the whole concept of a perspective, you realize that it is the most powerful thing that you have and can control. You can literally look at any situation, past, present, or future, and a singular shift in perspective can alter your entire perception of what you've been through, what you're going through now, or what you're going to go through.
I think you should do a podcast.
I think you should too. I think you should too.
That was good.
Yeah.
But we also love the fact that this is Gibran. He's my son.
Yeah.
I'm his mom. I'm female. He's male. We're completely two different genders with two different perspectives, with two different generations. And you got mom and you got a professional opinion. And then you got Gibran and you got a Gen Z and a growing opinion.
That's just the way to say an unprofessional opinion. I think the whole reason the perspective is you have mom and son. So without further ado, welcome to the Perspective Podcast. 3 years in the making.
Also, let us introduce you because you, as our incredible audience, are going to grow as we grow with you.
Right.
And we're starting out with one mic.
Yeah, we're starting out with one mic.
Thank God we fit on this sofa together.
Thank God I lost some weight.
And I promise you at some point we'll have real plants.
Yeah.
But we got a cool backdrop. We got a cool sofa. We've got each other.
It's humble beginnings.
Yes.
I think it's one of those, it's not much, but it's home vibes. And this is it. We start here, one mic, and we grow. So I'm so excited for you to come along this journey with us and kind of see where we get started. I think the main purpose of this first episode was kind of to introduce your hosts. Who are we? So I am Gibran Bank. This is
Shazam Bank. I would normally say Mumsy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So this is Mumsy. And I think Mom and I have so much synergy. We have such a unique bond. There is so much that we gel on. We're quite similar, but at the same time, our opinions contrast so much. And that's why I think this is interesting, because you truly are getting two different perspectives with kind of the same outlook and view. I don't know if that makes sense. And so while you do have us looking at things in a same way, you also have us challenging each other when it comes to different topics. And I think we're going to be talking about life, relationships, ups, downs, how to implement different practical tips.
And I think very raw, very authentic. We're both in a place to be really vulnerable. We're both in a place where we're on a healing journey.
Yeah.
We're ready to share
Yeah.
a lot about the lessons we've learned.
Yeah.
And I think what we love is the fact that we feel so human through everything we've been through. And I think our gift truly has been the fact that we've truly had each other. And I know this is really funny, but that being said, I was actually thinking about this an hour ago and I realized, Gibran, genuine. For the first time, I actually realized when you were unwell on the sofa and you were talking and some of the things you've gone through, I actually realized I feel like a mom. And I feel like I was holding mom's space.
Right.
For such a long time because I felt otherwise my energy has never been so mine.
Right.
It's always been so displaced. It's always been so exhausted. And then I feel with what I've gone through, especially in the last 3.5 years, I feel you took more and held more room for me in my deepest confusion. And I feel that I'm starting to get to a point where I'm so grounded. And for the first time in my life, my energy is mine.
Yeah.
That I felt like, oh, I feel like a mom. Because otherwise we're siblings, right?
Yeah, I think
Like I'm your twin.
there's certain times I have to turn to mom and I have to tell her, Mom, I'm talking to you as my mom, not as my sibling, not as a coach, not as a relationship expert, not as a life expert. Just mom, I need you to listen. I need you to not fix anything. I need you to not go and correct everything. And I think as we go along this journey and you come along this journey with us, you'll also understand the journey that we've just recently been through. Which is partly why we wanted to start this podcast 3 years ago, but we couldn't.
Mm,
And I'm just so excited because I think there's so much to discuss. I think this podcast, this idea is just so incredibly unique because you are so incredibly unique. I'm so incredibly unique.
yeah.
And you put that together with whatever we'll be talking about is just extremely exciting. And I think,
So who are you, Jibs?
who am I?
Who are you, and what do you feel you're bringing to this podcast?
That is such a good question. We should have a podcast.
I do actually. I actually have my own podcast.
Yeah, mom actually does have
Yeah.
her own podcast. I mean, I think one thing, which is so pivotal with this podcast, one thing that we're both bringing is just starting. And we're kind of still deliberating the name of this first episode, but I think it's most likely going to be Just Start. If I take you back literally 2 hours ago, I was lying down on the floor in a horrific state.
Yeah.
I think I'm currently running a fever. And so it's just not ideal, right? I think throughout the last 3 years, life has been anything but ideal.
Yeah.
And what I bring to this podcast is a specific outlook, particular point of view, particular perspective, which stems from a lot of built resilience, fortitude, and grit. And I think that there have been a couple of experiences I've had to go through where I've kind of had to adopt and create my own philosophies to go through them. I think mom has too, but I think maybe going through the world at a very different dynamic pace than I would be at my age right now. I'm currently 21. I just turned 21. And I don't think I've had the most, traditional
No.
road. And that being said, I don't think anyone does.
Yeah.
And so I think I can bring a point of view, a perspective that is so untraditionally traditional that will probably be quite relatable.
And I think what I love about this is you be able to really talk to parents
Right.
that want to be able to connect to their children more.
Right. And you'll be able to talk to kids
Yes.
who are looking to connect with their parents more. I think to answer your question, it is honestly such a beautiful question. It's something I haven't thought about. But who am I? I don't know. I think I'm going to unwrap and unenvelope that as we go along. And I'm so excited for that.
Oh my God.
And
know,
I
emotional.
would ask you, who are you? I mean, from a literal point of view, before we even dive into anything more, from a literal point of view, who are you? If you were to just meet someone, if you were to handshake someone, what would you tell them? Who are you?
I would just say, I actually don't want to say I'm just a mom. And
Excuse me. All right, maybe you need some help here. This is Shazwin Bank, a life and relationship coach who is probably the most certified, well-accredited, and at the top of her game life and relationship coach from Cairo to South Africa.
And
she is being incredibly humble. Mom is a badass.
And I work with attachment styles, and I'm so passionate about relationships. And I have certified as a facilitator in conflict resolution for couples and just communication and how to lead by heart. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm looking to study in somatic healing.
Yeah.
So other than that,
huge.
I feel credibility aside, if I was to think about who am I feel like I am a brand new chapter, and I am a giddy light, and I'm a confused light, and I'm an excited light, and I am way more grounded than I could say I was 2 months ago.
Right.
And the fact that on my other podcast, I got a message today from Buzzsprout saying, Shazmin, keep podcasting. You haven't done an episode in 4 months.
What?
And I turned around to say,
it's been 4 months?
It's been since all of that.
That is crazy.
And when I look at just 4 months ago, my mental health that stopped me recording in the
Yeah.
peak of bringing up and nurturing a brand new podcast
Mm.
to today starting our second venture
Yeah, and my
together.
first venture with
Yes,
you, our
yeah.
first venture
I
together,
still
not
feel
our
you,
second.
well, my second,
Yeah,
but
our first.
I feel you need your own podcast.
As time ticks,
Yes, I'm
we'll get
rooting for
there.
you for that.
I think there've just been particular instances, like if we go into such a micro level that shows you our different perspectives. In late December 2024, literally a couple of days before New Year, I went and I bought this hoodie, and it was a branded like Formula One hoodie, and it just said Formula One 2024. And so I bought it because it was really cold and I just needed a hoodie. And I went and I said out loud, "Oh, looks like I only have 4 more days until I can wear this hoodie because then 2024 is over." And mom stops and goes, "What did you say?"
I turned around and said, "Oh my God, you are so lucky you're about to have an antique sweatshirt because
Yeah, that starts collecting value in 4 days.
exactly."
And that was just, it's one of those little like, oh, yeah, that's a different perspective. That's kind of a cool way to think about it.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things, right? From the most minute thing like buying a hoodie to literal world affairs, I would have looked at this hoodie and been like, oh, it no longer has value to me.
Hmm.
And thanks to your perspective shift, now every time I look at it, it's one of my favorite hoodies. And I
Oh,
love it so much because I'm like, every year that we keep going, it's just going to keep getting more and more value.
right.
The goal is simple. It's to discuss a multitude of different topics, right? Ranging from life, ranging from day-to-day things, ranging from activities that would frustrate you, ranging
Mm.
from relationships, emotions, just everything, but from two different unique podcasts. And you'll actually notice that Mom is wearing white, I'm wearing black. This is by design. It's just because we are so similar, but we are so contrasting at the same time. It's kind of like yin and yang. You know, we're so different, but we work so well hand in hand together. And I think we can help a lot of relationships, whether it
Young.
be, yeah, young, old,
Hmm.
grandma, very old, younger, older, male, female, mother, son,
Hmm.
parent. What is that thing a parent has? A child, parent, child. You know, it's just there's so much relatability to it,
Right.
I
So
think.
we're really ready to be raw. We're really ready to be vulnerable. And that being said, it's taken a lot. The reason
Yeah.
this podcast has taken us 3 years to do is because we had to remove ourselves for our mental health
Yeah.
from obviously my marriage.
Yeah.
So I am separated as we speak, and that has been a really, really, really tough journey. And I actually think one of the topics we should talk about at some
Yeah.
point is, a lot of people say that I'll stay for my kids.
Right.
And so we
Well, you have
definitely
a
have,
kid's perspective
yeah,
through that, through this thing. I think that's interesting because I think as much as we tackle emotions and we're so open and vulnerable, we have done the longest intro in the world because I think we were kind of shying away from talking about that.
yeah,
But over the last 3 years, I mean, like Mom said, for the betterment of her mental health, my mental health, it was just a very interesting
tough.
situation. Yeah, tough.
I think we
Um,
never both realized we were dealing with so many different levels of anxiety.
yeah,
We both went into some very dark places
yeah.
emotionally and mentally.
And I think while we were going through that, we kind of went through it with two different approaches. There was
Mm,
one point where Mom and I were very in sync. You know, whatever she's going through, I'm aware of. Whatever I'm going through, she's aware of. And whether I'm 4,000 miles away in the UK at uni or I'm 9,000 miles away with a 9-10 hour time difference, we were very much in lockstep
yeah,
of what's going on. And then there was a flip side to it where we both simultaneously actually thought that we need to stop talking to each other, or we're kind of made to think that we need to stop sharing with each other
yeah.
because it's affecting the other person. And because, you know what, I don't want to unload this kind of pressure onto Mom.
And I think
And
personally also, I think something I carried and struggled with was, um, am I being a bad mom? Am I being a
mm,
bad parent? When you know how I'm struggling. And the truth of the entire matter is, I think we have to be so careful
Mm.
I think there's a big difference when you're offloading on a 7-year-old or a 12-year-old, a 13-year-old. And I think it's so different when you have late young adults as teenagers that are now seeing a situation that is not behind closed doors,
Right.
that's much louder than behind closed doors, and the
Yeah.
situation that unfortunately pulls them in. So I have mom guilt in some very real places. Number one, which was I wish I left 3 years ago or sooner to have never put him in this position because I feel very responsible for his mental health and emotional health. And yet I know that I couldn't because of a multitude of reasons. And the other guilt I carry was him being a part of one of the most supportive backbones when, to be really honest, I didn't realize a lot of things were happening.
Right.
And you were the one saying, Mom, I don't think this is right and this is going on. And you were noticing things that
Yeah.
I couldn't see at
Right.
all. And
While being in the situation.
yeah.
I think there was a lot of guilt that I carried um, in just supporting you, right? Because there was a lot of guilt I carried knowing that by me supporting you and by me kind of shedding light on what you were going through and the situation that we were both going through, you know, it wasn't because of me, but naturally I'm shedding light on something that isn't right. And so there's a byproduct and there's an effect, and a symptom of that is a divide.
Mm,
Um, you know, with you awakening and realizing this isn't okay. And so I think there was a lot of guilt I carried and probably still carry, that one of the reasons you're divorced, or, I was made to feel like was my fault.
right.
So
But we know that's not true.
we know that's not true, and you know that mom guilt isn't true, but
You still
somehow
have to process
incongruently
it.
you can
Yeah.
still process it. You can still go through, because I've explained to mom multiple times that in the same breath, everything happens for a reason.
Right.
And I would not change a single thing,
Mm,
no matter how hard, how painful, how tumultuous the situation was, because I wouldn't be the person that I am now.
right.
And it's kind of the same thought process, that anything I'm going to go through in the future, I wouldn't want it altered, because I wouldn't be the person who I'm going to be if any of those things changed. And I try my best not to live with regret. I think it's incredibly important to have no regrets,
Mm,
but to use regretful moments to learn from,
yeah.
right? So you don't just go through life vicariously and you're like, you know what? I have no regrets. Everything I do is completely okay. It's more a lack of regret, because understanding everything happens for a reason.
Mm.
And then also using moments where you would have had regret to kind of alter your perspective going forward, and shift and make changes and grow and heal, so that you're not just blatantly going through life, but whatever you do go through, you know it was the best for you.
So I feel that's beautiful. And I feel we've reached a place where I don't even think you recognize if we're able to sit in front of a camera today and film.
Right.
This is 2 months after we've moved out,
Yeah.
and that shows we're healing
Right. Even if we don't think we are.
because we're able to be vulnerable, real, and then we're able to be raw and creative.
And just have space to create, like you said.
Yeah, because we couldn't do this.
That's the exact thing I want to do. I just want to take a deep breath,
Right.
because I think there was, this situation has been incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
The situation is still incredibly difficult.
Mm.
Till now, I'm battling between, okay, we've moved out, so technically the situation is better, right? Technically, on paper, everything is on its upside.
Yeah.
But I still have really hard days
Mm.
where brushing my teeth is a struggle, and it's a conscious effort. And I have other days where I'll go through the entire day and I'll feel so great. And I think one episode that we're going to do is a couple of philosophies that I came up with and a
Mm.
couple of philosophies you came up with, which were tools to help you,
Right.
right? Because I think one thing is that I have realized everybody is going through something.
Yeah.
you know,
If it's not in your relationship, it's with your wealth or your health or your or family dynamics. It's
yeah,
getting to Thanksgiving and Christmas,
or
and I
your
know that,
career,
right,
or
with
your
your children.
whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I mean, just to give you a little example, the other day, um, mom and I lost a loved one, right? And I don't think I've allowed myself to kind of process or go through what's happened because it was very much on the ground, on the scene, sorting things out. So I don't think I've allowed myself to fully even just grasp what's happened. And I think in my head, this person, this loved one is just still with us and I'm just not seeing them anymore. But the same day that, we lost this person, obviously I wasn't having such a great day.
Mm,
And even though the day was anything but about me, life became all about me. And I became incredibly selfish. And all of a sudden, I wanted the world to just be far more considerate to me because of what I'm going through, even though
mm,
no one knows what I'm going through. And so I call an Uber the same day and I have to go somewhere. And I'm sitting in the car and the driver, I'm quite chatty, I'm quite friendly, so I'm stark silent, and not a word comes out of me. And so he starts a small talk, and he's like, "Hi, hello, blah blah blah," and I'm not rude, but I'm just content and reserved, which is unlike me. And he's like, "Why are you so quiet?" And so I tell him, I'm like, I lost someone I loved literally a couple of hours ago, only to find out that he had lost his 7-month-old child less than 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks before I'm sitting in this car with him. And it's just little things like that that completely altered my perspective,
mm,
that just shifted my whole mentality. And all of a sudden, within this literal moment of a sentence that came out of his mouth, and because he was so open and vulnerable, the world wasn't about me. Everyone is going through something.
mm,
And I had so much more empathy, room for myself,
mm,
for other people, for him, and I got into this car thinking, oh my God, the world has just happened to me. And I got out of this car feeling so grateful that I didn't lose a 7-month-old kid.
yeah.
And I'm in a situation where I have to hustle and get into an Uber 2 weeks later. I don't think he wanted to be
No.
driving. I think he wanted to be doing anything but. I think he would have loved to just sit at home and process his emotions.
And it made us realize that I think 2 days prior to that, we had an Uber driver that was having a
Mm,
really bad day.
right.
And both of us were just, like, have a great day. And we really tried with him to
Yeah.
talk in the car. This guy did not want us in his backseat.
Yeah.
And when this happened and you came home and you told me the story,
Yeah.
we both turned around and said, we have no idea what that guy was going through. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you think people are being rude or, somebody is truly having a bad day. But do we ever stop to get beyond ourselves
Right.
and think about what's making them have a bad day? Because people are not inertly born or wake up to want to, spill coffee on you.
Right.
Right. So
It's
I
kind of
think,
like, I
yeah.
don't know if you've seen this clip online where it's CCTV footage that's cropped. Okay. And so you have this guy
Hmm,
go and tackle this old lady.
hmm,
And so initially when you watch it, you're like, oh my God, like, what the hell is going on? And then when the CCTV like zooms out, there's like this heavy, I think it was like a bed or a washing machine or something that's going to fall
yeah,
on her,
yeah,
crush her and kill her.
yeah,
And he goes and tackles her. And so I think that is purely what the perspective is. That's
right.
why it's the perspective podcast, because
Zoom out,
yeah, a
and sometimes you
singular
got to zoom in.
shift in perspective
Hmm.
can change your outlook on a day, on your life,
On a moment.
on you as a person, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I think that's truly what it is all about.
So I guess one of the lessons probably would be that the next time you are privileged to be in the presence of someone having a really hard day
Yeah.
is probably to humble yourself and say, I wonder if they just need my prayers silently right now, because we have no idea truly what people are going
You
through.
really, I think,
And this reminds me of a time in Dubai once when, do you remember how much I had been crying? And then I got on the treadmill next to somebody and I was running for 3-4 kilometers. And I
Right.
got off the treadmill. And do you remember telling you that no one would know? I got on a treadmill and just ran and was listening to
Right.
music,
Yeah.
and something so profound had just happened.
Right.
You have no idea
What people are going through.
and what you're going through. And I think one of the things I would love more than ever is for more people to feel free to talk,
Yeah.
and more people to want to share, and for more people to not carry shame and guilt,
Yeah.
and for a lot more people to walk away from every single episode feeling, okay, it's really safe to be seen,
Yeah.
because you have us who will always do our best to hold room and space for you.
Mm.
But then I also feel they are the right people in life that show up and will fight to the death of you if you are open, vulnerable, and you do ask for help. Something I couldn't do.
Yeah.
I was terrified to be vulnerable and open.
Yeah.
I was someone who never asked for help because that's just
Quite
not my
literally
attachment style.
never. I mean,
No.
mom went
Don't say
through.
that. You don't either. We're both these independent. I will take out the shopping and put it in the house
Yeah,
myself.
that's very true
Yeah.
because I mean, I think it was maybe a couple of years into going through this incredibly toxic household where I finally told my best friend,
Mm.
and I don't know why. I mean, I think part of it was this idea. I think I grew up thinking, you have to have this like perfect, unbroken, super awesome family, and it would be shocking. I mean, we would have so much tumultuation, and I'm using these words as a bit of an understatement, but we would have so much chaos, right? And then all of a sudden the doorbell rings, you have guests walk in, and we are the most perfect family ever, like perfect to a creepy level.
And I think
And
the
I don't
funny
know
thing
why
is,
that was so normal.
I was just going to say, the funny thing is,
Why
I
was that
think,
a norm?
yeah, like I think we would be so put together. And I think I didn't realize the longer I stayed after certain things in my relationship, the
Mm,
more I moved from secure. I got cooked like a frog. The theory where if
mm,
you put a frog in boiling hot water, it will jump out.
yeah,
But when you put a frog in cold water and you slowly heat it up, it doesn't know it gets cooked.
right.
And I think that was happening with my nervous system. And I moved into such high anxiety and as a completely anxiously attached person that it was always upon me to
Yeah.
be perfect and to be so put together that
Which
I
is so
actually
interesting.
hated meeting people, and I was exhausted meeting my friends because I was with Mwikali the other day, just
Yeah.
2 days ago, and I was telling her I would have probably met you 50 times more than we
Yeah.
ever did. But I just felt how? Because like now I'm meeting everyone as me,
I mean,
tired, exhausted, happy, bubbly, speaking the truth in my truth era, in my freedom era.
you just rekindled such a beautiful relationship less than 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because you were able to be so vulnerable, open, honest, and broken, and so was the other person. And I think if there's anything I have learned over the last couple of years, it is so okay to not be okay. It is so okay to just be the way you are right now, watching this or listening to this right now. It is so okay. Be broken, be shattered, be
Yeah.
destroyed. And all those three different words have three different meanings. And I have felt each and every single one of them. And I know that they are very different. I know that there's a difference with being broken and being shattered. And it's okay to be each one of those.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that I struggle with or have found myself struggling with recently is just being open and being vulnerable. Maybe because I never felt, I just didn't feel like there was a safe enough space to feel that way for so long. But it is so okay to
And I
not
think
be
you were
okay.
also in, to be very honest, protector mode, like I told you.
Right, kind of a survival,
Yeah, so you
fight
were,
or flight.
yeah, and you were also very protector mode for me. And I think I can see the shift. And that's why I'm saying for the first time, I'm just like, oh, I'm a mom, because I feel like it moved from you being a protector, because I don't think I ever felt what it felt like to have a male protect you. And I didn't. So I didn't have the honor of, just someone that would be there and say, you cannot do that, you cannot speak to her that way. And
Mm.
I think when Jibs took on that role, it was very different for me, number one, because I didn't feel worthy of that.
Right.
I didn't know I needed that. And so I think you were in that mode for a long time. And I can see that somehow, because I've cut, communication so I can heal, and I want to do everything with grace. But in that period, I can see that I have managed to sprout and blossom
Right.
in a funny way faster than I thought I would have. And it's created space for you
Yeah.
to sink
Right.
and to be not okay.
Yeah.
And because you don't have to be put
Yes.
together for me.
Yeah.
And I'm not being put together for you. I'm just being me.
Yeah.
And I think that's let you go.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is the realness, because I think sometimes pop psychology.
But like I feel scared with that. Like I think throughout this journey I say this journey, I feel like we're quite literally the first step. I don't even think we've got to the first step.
No, we're on the first podcast.
Yeah.
We're the first episode.
I think there have just been so many times where I start to feel okay. I start to feel safe. And it can be for a couple of hours. It can be for the period of a couple of days. I don't think we've gone to a whole week where I feel like that. But I think understanding that life comes in waves, and this has to be a whole podcast of its own because I have this whole thought process on it. But that was something that I learned through experience, that was not a TikTok that I was scrolling through and I was like, oh, life operates in waves. And like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, no, like I went through so many high and low waves
and
for
I think
such
the
a
high,
long period of time
yeah,
to be able to understand that.
but I feel what people don't understand also with what you're saying is the high, you are barely keeping your neck above the water.
Yeah.
And the low part of the wave,
it's not even a neck.
It is dragging you through the coral.
It's not even keeping your
bruising.
neck above water. It's keeping your nose. You have water up until your nose. Your nose is the only thing above water, and that's the only way you can breathe.
But I'm your mom. I have a life jacket.
And I think it's been hard for mom to also just like sometimes
not fix.
Yeah, I'll tell mom like, I'm drowning, but I just need to tell you I'm drowning, right?
And
like,
I'm supposed to. I have learned with grace to stand there and go, do you need a life jacket? Or do you need me to just drown with you a little bit?
Right.
And we both know we won't sink, but we're okay. That's been hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because to also see, I feel what I find interesting is Jibs has been such a beautiful, easy child. And I don't say that in a weird way. I say it because I don't want you to be perfect. You see, I don't know, make mistakes and
I
do
think
like
I've
all
made
these
my
things.
fair share of mistakes.
I don't think so. So what I mean by that is I feel like even when Jibs was going through, he was 2, everybody around me was like, oh my God, wait till your son is 2 years old. It's known as terrible twos.
Terror twos.
And the truth was Jabron's twos, I named them teddy bear twos because I couldn't have thought of a more beautiful, perfect 2-year-old baby. And I just feel Jibs has been such a graceful, disciplined, well put together. Sometimes it scares me. Remember that guy from Poland was like, he spoke to Jabron on the phone. What was his name? Tomac.
Oh.
And he was like, he turned around, one of Mo's ex-partners, do you remember? Turned around and said that I spoke to your son on the phone and you were 16. And he's like, this boy is too mature for his age. He's too put together. He doesn't party. He doesn't drink. He doesn't sleep around with women.
Yeah.
I think he needs to make way more mistakes. But I feel you already first just grew up as this kid that was different. You always had a vision. You were aligned with your values, your core values. You held principles, I think, we're very God-based. That's one thing you should know. Like,
very God-fearing.
Very God-fearing. Everything we do, all our decisions, the way we treat people.
It has faith in mind.
Fully. It stems from that. And I
don't think we would have actually also
got through
been
this.
Able to get through.
But my point being that because I always had you easy. I
Yeah.
didn't deal with a child where I had to walk in and be like, Jibs, have you done your homework? Oh no, this guy will be talking to me about a Pomodoro method. I didn't have to. He thrived in COVID online.
Hmm.
You got some crazy distinction on how you were thriving and had to talk about it to the school. So I feel I had you easy. And then I feel watching you crack, I would say more from last year was now I felt now I'm being challenged as a parent because
Right.
I had never been challenged with you. I didn't have drinking problems with you. I didn't have sneaking girly-ins with you. I didn't have, um, contrary to somebody thinking you're on a funny golf course
Oh
doing
yeah.
crazy. We got to talk about that. But
Yeah.
anyway, your company matters, okay? Because yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
That's a different story for a different
yeah.
day.
But I feel that's what I feel personally, like as a mom now
Yeah.
seeing you going through a hard time, I'm feeling as a parent like, oh, this is
Like you kind of had to parent and you've never parented before.
never parented a child that was down, lost, confused, felt broken, didn't know his way forward, needed help.
Mm.
And I know like I say that and it can feel like, oh, were you not paying attention to him? No, we're
No.
absolute
I
best
think
friends.
that's
But I
one
just
thing to
feel Jibs was
clarify.
very, very goal oriented. Jibs, you were the kid that you didn't believe in needing to do anything to fit in.
Yeah.
That you always
I think
wanted
I
to
was very
achieve
okay as a
something.
kid. I never really had FOMO. I was very okay to be on myself, accepting and understanding that I'm on a different path. And it's very rare that I talk to other kids are kind of going through something similar, right? Or have been through a similar situation. Or like my younger cousin, for example.
Hmm.
When I talk to him, I fully see that in me. I just see this kid who is so okay to not be normal
And
because
popular.
he knows he's not going normal places. And I say that in the most
I love that.
humble and non-arrogant way
Hmm.
ever.
Hmm.
But I have certain friends, and when I come across them, we click. Certain personalities, certain souls, we just click.
Sam? Are you thinking
I was
Sam?
just thinking of Sam. Yes. Like someone I consider my older brother, and when we first clicked, we just clicked because I think it's one of those things that when you do end up doing these societal norms, drinking, smoking, partying, you kind of have to go out of your character
Mm.
to be normal, right? Like I very much feel that with him. Like we're actually okay to just grind the whole day and just work till
And
night
go
and
to the
then yeah, and then just
gym.
go to the gym and then just come back and just repeat and do the same and eat, sleep, train and so that has been one thing. I think one thing that I'm hoping is actually to answer that question that you initially asked. Who am I? I'm hoping to find that because something I haven't even talked to you about is I currently think I'm having an identity crisis,
Oh, beautiful.
right?
I love it. Wonderful. It's about time.
Yeah, mom is just praying on
Your
my downfall.
20s are for this.
I just think like
May you have many.
there's
Stoked
no,
upon you.
no,
May you
no,
have
get them
many.
out of here, please. There's this individual that I've created in my head. And the last year has been so trying and so testing that from a mental perspective, to even a physical perspective, like when I look in the mirror, there's very much a disconnect with who I'm looking at and who is looking back at me.
Why?
Because I was, as a kid, right? I was quite chunky.
Your
Um,
Jibs was 25 kilos
above
heavier.
what I am now. Yeah, I was quite a obese piece. I was a double stuffed Oreo, but my
Kind to ourselves.
that's true. I need to
Kind
be
George.
yeah. I need to, but my mindset was always to grow, get better, lose the weight. Put on some size. Like just I was always very like I want to be a little bit better. There's always a step that I think that I can reach.
2-degree shift.
2 degree shifts. And so over the last couple of years, I made a couple of those shifts. And even though I wasn't necessarily where I want to be right now or where I wanted to be in general with things in terms of my physique, I managed to lose a good amount of fat. I managed to put on a decent amount of muscle. There was a point where I stopped hating myself.
Hmm.
I would look in the mirror, and for the longest period of my fitness journey, I would constantly hate what was looking back at me. And I think that is the word. It's incredibly harsh, but I would literally look in the mirror and hate this kid. And it's only until I had this small shift in perspective again. And this is why the perspective is so powerful. That's why this podcast is named this way. But a shift in perspective can literally change the world. And I used to look in the mirror, absolutely hating what was looking back at me. And it's only when I realized, and with mom's help, that this body that I hate is the same body that's going to work hard for me to change and look the way I want it to. How silly to hate it,
Mm,
right?
mm.
How silly to hate something that is going to work tirelessly for you to look the way you want it to look. And so, I mean, went on a bit of a rabbit hole, but what I was saying is,
A good rabbit hole.
yeah, I mean, initially, over the last couple of months, I haven't touched a dumbbell. I haven't touched weight. I haven't lifted a bar.
This is
And
probably from
maybe,
gymming 7 days a
yeah,
week.
this is from gymming 5 to 6 days a week, bodybuilding style. I haven't touched a weight in 5 months now,
Mm.
right? For a multitude of reasons, not because of a lack of motivation or commitment, just a multitude of reasons, which we'll dive into later. And so when I look in the mirror and the truth is, scrawny kid looks back at me, there's a disconnect. Because in my head, even though I wasn't happy with the way I looked 5 months ago, it was far greater than how I look right now. And so I'm still that guy trying to build forward. But what's looking back at me is this.
Mm.
And so there is a disconnect there, you know? So I'm having an identity crisis, I think.
And see, it takes everything in me right now to create room for you to speak, because that is going to be someone that connects to you. And
Yeah.
I have that professional brain that's so immediately attuned to
Yeah.
fix and guide you. And then I have the mom that's sitting here that's like, I have to create space for you to also vocalize this, to
Mhm.
have your own breakthroughs.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things I got also when you're talking about this, Gibran, is you've had with the grace of God. And that's why God says when you have your health, use it. When you have your wealth,
Yeah.
use it. Because when old age comes and all those things are slowly, youth is pulled
Mhm.
away from you. And I think one of the
But
things
I
I
also
got.
think you don't realize that you have those two things at your disposal until they're taken away from you.
Right.
Right?
And that's why it's a test.
Yeah.
God tests you.
Yeah.
And I feel you had the grace to be able to work on your body. So your
Right.
muscle has stored that memory. I'm trying to fix it. And then the other thing I realized is
Oh, Mama.
is you are now the gym you were in was first the physical one. And I feel, at some point life is like, now
Oh,
we
she's
know
saying
we'd
something
be able,
profound. She's
we
about to say
know
something profound.
we know how to be able to pick up iron in the gym and work our muscles,
Mm,
but I simultaneously need you to put you in the emotional gym.
yeah.
So you learn how to lift
It's been a long workout.
those heavy
I'm done.
weights
I'm done with
and
this.
progressively
I want to
overload
leave this gym, please.
emotionally
Yeah.
and get comfortable with progressive overload, because it was something I had to get comfortable with. I hit limits in a gym physically where I
Right.
thought I can't go above 6. You are in an emotional gym where
Yeah.
you think I can't lift and carry more emotion than I am right now.
Yeah.
And there's a higher being and a vibration that says, no, you do have to, because you need these breakthroughs.
Yeah.
You need to heal the wounds that are coming up.
Yeah.
You need to hold the mirror in front of you,
Yeah.
because these are all the dots we will join backwards for where you will be, inshallah, one day at 25, and be able to say, I had to build muscle.
Yeah.
And now I can use it emotionally, because how many crazy C-bums and, Noel Denzel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so proud you know who Seaboom is. I
Right.
feel like
Oh,
that.
yeah. He's a cutie. But when you meet
No,
all these...
Seaboom is mine. You have to
Back off.
back off.
Who's backing off?
Huh?
Who's
You're backing
I'm
off.
I
He's
back
mine.
off. I back.
Seaboom is mine.
I'm single.
I'm saying.
Oh, no, but he's married.
Yeah.
Oh, we're both backing off. But it's like Jews in the gym would meet these crazy big people and go to them and be like, how did you get here? And all of them would be like, 10, 15 years, bro. And just
And I felt like punching a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what it is emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
10, 15 years. And
Yeah.
you're building that so that you go somewhere in life.
Right. I think one thing that's exciting is, as we are talking through this episode, I can literally part of me just wants to grab a pen because I want to list 10 other episodes
Yeah.
that are just going to keep getting better and greater and more informative and more raw and more real, because I think that this journey is going to be incredible. I'm really excited for it.
And I hope to be able to also connect and talk to people. Just because I've left a relationship, I'm still so obsessed with people making their relationships work and working on the aspect of attachment styles, which is so nuanced because there's so many other things going on in a relationship. But I'm still so passionate about people falling in love, finding love, reigniting love, and keeping love going in a
I
way
think that
so the
is truly
family grows.
beautiful.
Yeah.
That you can go through all this and still have that perspective, because I don't think a lot of people would be able to go through what you've gone through and still have hope that other people can have love, because this is something we'll discuss on a completely different episode.
Yeah.
But just going through this kind of situation, it's altered my perspective, So that's something that needs to be healed.
And I know professionally, had certain things been taken care of and had you made an effort and different parties had gotten help, that things
Would be different.
right.
Yeah.
So, and then sometimes also it doesn't need to be different.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can both get help and truly situations need to change.
Right.
But I definitely feel like for the first, I've never felt how I feel. I've never felt, I can truly say I have never felt how I feel right now. I'm going to be 40
I feel emotional.
in 2 months.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that era. I've done the confused about my 20s. I was just never confused about this incredible boy.
Yeah.
Having him, raising him.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate that on a personal
Loved
level.
the most powerful, best decision. Whenever I've done the Tony Robbins course and I've been asked what was one decision you made that was truly hard and transformed your life, it was to have my child. It was the most difficult decision.
Are you chopping onions in
at
here?
18, and he built me. That decision made me the epitome of resilience
Mom.
that life knew I had to go through. So you can't have something this incredible in your life and it turn out to not work. You just can't. So I would wonder what's the most difficult decision you've ever had to make and how that difficult decision built you, shaped you, and rounded you to be so incredible. And you just don't give yourself credit
for
and
it.
Kindness.
But I would also be curious that this thing that you've gone through that has brought you to where you are now and has shaped you to who you are. In the same breath, I'd be curious, this life event that has brought you to where you are now in your personal life, do you regret that? Are you sitting here watching this being like, I wish this never happened. This ruined me. This made me. Or are you sitting here understanding that you have to be grateful for whatever you've been through because it's bringing you to exactly where you are right now. It's brought you exactly where you are right now, and it's taking you exactly where you need to go. And I think one tradition that Mom and I want to do on this podcast is at the end of each episode, we want you to send us each one uncomfortable question, and I'll read whatever question is directed to Mom to her, and she'll read whatever question is directed to me. But I also, while we've been filming this, I thought of another one, and I would love if we could do a quote from each of us that truly resonates so much, that can kind of carry you through the week or a little bit. No, I have one.
I have mine.
No, you have one?
I have mine.
All right, yay.
That I've actually been using.
Okay, because I thought you were going to say the one I'm thinking of.
I hope you don't say the one I'm thinking of.
Okay, I want to go first then.
Okay, then you go first.
Okay.
And if I put my hand up, it means I had the same one or I didn't.
Okay. What? Does it mean you had the same one or you didn't?
If I put my hand up, I had the same one as you.
Okay. I think, let's do the uncomfortable questions after.
Yeah.
One quote that I think I would end this podcast on is a quote that I actually came up with myself. And it was so funny because the universe works in weird ways. And I was always thinking in my head, how do people come up with quotes? Like how do you just say this cool stuff? Like, where does it come from in your head? And then it happened, I think, almost the very next day. And the quote was so unique and situational. And it was actually for mom. Um, and the quote was, "We're not broken, but first we must break to become unbreakable." So that's the quote that I'm going to leave this episode on. It's that we're not broken, but first we must break to become unbreakable. It's your brown bag.
I love that. It's probably one of my favorites. One of my freaking favorites. I actually have it as a quote in my Instagram, and I've put your name under it.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it. And I think what I am living by and embodying right now, the quote is, you know, life is going to throw hard things at you, so do something harder.
Woo!
Because,
Wait.
yeah.
Whoa. That is, that is so, that resonates so much.
Yeah, and that's what we will also talk about with stemmed our
Wait, can you repeat
passion.
it?
Life is always going to throw hard things at you, so choose to do something harder instead.
I
And
love that.
I've been signing off on that because I feel that's why we chose to run
Right.
21 kilometers, which we'll talk about on
Yeah.
an entirely
We need to discuss
separate.
that running
Yeah.
journey on its own podcast.
Yeah,
But you're right. I mean, instead of going through the pain life puts you through, you kind of pick your own pain.
right. And picking running, choosing that pain, choosing that suffering, because everyone is different. And it was powerful for me because for the first time I felt, especially when I was running, that this was my choice. I was choosing this hard. I chose something difficult. I chose to let the sun hit down on me. I chose to tan. I chose to have my knees smack the crap out of me for doing what I did untrained. But it was mine. This was my pain. This was my suffering.
Yeah.
You cannot take it away from me. I'm going to make it something so powerful.
I love that.
As opposed to also knowing with grace, life will still give me hard knocks, but I'm going to choose my own. And that being said, also,
that. That is so profound.
It's in doing that when we lost someone we love so much that I turn around to say, see, that's life. It never lets up. Life's gonna life, and that's a pain life gives me. I don't have a choice to do but heal through, process, and deal with.
Right.
But when I choose my own heart,
yeah,
that is mine, baby.
I love that.
That is mine.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. What a beautiful quote. So, I mean, yeah. Also, are we doing
Our
the uncomfortable questions?
Yes.
Are we doing them?
Yes.
You still want to do that?
I want to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sure.
Okay.
Okay, you go first.
Okay. So my uncomfortable question to you
Great.
would be,
I feel so comfortable right now.
what is the one thing that you don't want anyone to know about that you are struggling with right now?
Just had to go and just
uncomfortable smile.
Yeah. Okay, wait, ask it again.
What is the one thing that is really uncomfortable for you right now that you don't want anyone to know that you are struggling or suffering with right now? Vulnerable spotlight.
I'm taking time to think because I think there's so much. I think I haven't been open and vulnerable, especially in a public setting. You know, like, I think there are there's less than a handful, way less than a handful of people in my personal life who truly know what I've gone through. And there are people in my personal life who I am so close with who are watching this thinking, yeah, I know what you've gone through. And you don't. I would say that there are maybe literally 3 people on this planet, one sitting right next to me, that truly knows what I've gone through. So I think something uncomfortable that I'm going through that I don't want to admit or haven't admitted is probably just suffering and struggling with mental health on a daily, hourly, minute to minute basis. And I think that's why it can be so up and down I think that's why men's mental health is so important to me, because everyone's mental health is so important to me. But in particular, as a guy, as a man, I just know the value of having someone to talk to, having someone quite literally to talk to, not to fix things. Just like, I don't think there are a lot of, I would consider myself a privileged person, knowing that there are at least a couple of contacts in my phone I could call, one sitting right next to me, where if I'm going through something, I can pick up that phone. I cannot feel stupid. I don't have to feel,
Yeah.
silly for feeling.
Mm.
So I think one thing that I'm currently going through that not a lot of people know I'm going through is a tough battle with mental health. That would be it. Yeah, I think so. And I think I'm going to ask you the same
But
uncomfortable
I think
question.
also, like, just in that, I just want to say thank you for being so vulnerable, just because I know how out of character that is for you. I know how I feel excited that you finally have a space to talk to, because I don't think you've ever realized how healing this space will be for you and as you heal for others as well. And being 21, being a male, and being honest enough to show up and say that, I love that while you still have to life. And I think you just have so many people that would want to be like, then how do you do it? You know?
More episodes to come.
Right. So I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. And I think I would ask you the same question.
What is one thing?
Oh, look, the uncomfortable smile is coming. That's what it is. I think it's going to be an uncomfortable smile, but that's beautiful because then every episode will end with a smile. But I think, what is something that you haven't admitted or wouldn't care to admit that you're currently going through that people don't know you're going through?
Ooh, wow. That question feels so interesting because of the space that I'm in. I feel like had you asked me that 4 months ago, I'd
Mm,
need a whole podcast
yeah.
because I had a list. But I think one of the things most, what is the question?
What is something that you are currently facing, challenging, dealing with that people don't know or you wouldn't admit that you're going through?
Okay, then I think in very much in the moment would be Flo passing away. I think definitely because
The
I
loss of a
think,
loved one?
yeah, I think definitely you can take for granted, or I feel it can, people can put that loss into, which I've experienced. Oh, you lost a nanny, right? But I didn't. I felt I lost somebody that truly cared for me and looked out for me and was there for 12 years.
Yeah.
So definitely struggling with that one.
Mm,
Um, and then also knowing that I like we can't go for that funeral. So that would be something that, yeah, 100, yeah.
that you're struggling with. Well, I'm really proud of you for being so open and honest. I think that's hard. I think it's also just hard to accept those realities sometimes for what they are.
Yeah, I think there's definitely I wish I called that Monday again
Hmm.
after talking to her and forced her to come home that Saturday. And
Yeah.
yeah, so definitely, yeah. And then I do find myself like today going through all our WhatsApps and just surprising me today to be
Yeah.
like, to send her messages saying, Flo, I'm on the dege, my English, and yeah,
Yeah.
and then her to be like, okay, mom, just you land safe, and
Yeah.
her questions of, is it raining in Dubai like here? And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, Flo, iko desert, iko so hot.
Yeah.
So yeah, just hard to know that I I I don't know how to get closure in that pausing. That one is definitely,
Tough.
yeah. So, which is very interesting because it's not my marriage.
That is actually surprisingly interesting.
Right. Because in my brain right now, it's like, betrayal trauma.
Yeah,
But I'm like, no,
I was fully
I don't.
expecting
Yeah.
something completely different to what we've gone through.
Hmm.
And I think that's so beautiful if your nervous system is allowing yourself to have and create space to feel other things.
Thank God, Jibs. I love that I'm feeling other things other than that one aspect that I was feeling for way too long
Yeah.
in my life.
Well, I mean, I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you
That's
too.
huge. And welcome to the Perspective Podcast. This is only the first episode of many.
Yeah.
It's only going to get more interesting, raw, real, I think funny.
We have to be serious.
Yeah, we have to kind of be serious, but welcome. And
thank you for subscribing. Thank you. Well, we're going to be putting little clips out, and then at some point when Gibran feels we can put this out on YouTube, we will be putting this out on YouTube.
I mean,
why are we not putting this out on YouTube? Just
we can go. No, let's put it out on YouTube.
Oh.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Look, I needed you here to help me do that.
Yeah. I think, you know, well, I want to do the outro.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm really proud of you, Mom.
I love you.
I'm really proud of you.
Yeah.
That's really hard to share. That's really vulnerable and open and honest. But
okay, wait, because I miss her. I really miss her.
Good.
Like, she's not touching me, but I just prefer she doesn't show up at Fajr time.
I'm gonna tell you, Bob.
Yeah.
Huh?
You know, the thing is, I miss Flo.
I know.
I miss Flo, Jibs.
It's okay.
I miss Flo.
I miss her too. And she's always gonna be a part of us. Always. The love and care that she put out into the world is something that will stay in the world forever. Because I think as grand scheme as the world may feel, and one person passing away feels like the world, it doesn't go on, nothing changed, no one was impacted. That's not true. You know, I think that's just a very old traditional way of thinking. She impacted lives. You're sitting here today feeling what you're feeling because she was who she was, you know? And it's so normal. And you would only be feeling this way because she was so great. And she was such an incredible soul, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting here, you know, losing time, thoughts on someone who really didn't have impact.
Yeah.
And I miss her too.
I know.
And it's so normal to feel what you're feeling. I love you. It's okay, Mom.
Thank you, Mama. I love you too.
I'm really proud of you for just feeling, because I feel like you needed this to come out a while ago. So I'm happy it's coming out, and I'm happy you're feeling this.
Yeah, a new feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm proud of you.
I love you, Mama.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm proud of you too.
So
your outro.
The outro.
The outro.
All right. So ready?
Yes.
All right. I think it's safe to say, welcome to the Perspective Podcast. Thank you for listening. Thank you for giving us a chance to speak. And if there's always something that you want us to talk about, you can let us know via Instagram currently.
Yes.
At the Perspective Podcast GS.
Yes.
Soon to be live on TikTok. Soon to be live on YouTube. So
Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Gibran Bank.
I'm Mumsy. Jasmine Bank.
Jasmine Bank. And it has been a pleasure.
And thank you for joining us.
See you next time.
I love you.
Love you too. Did we do a podcast? Did we just record a podcast?
We did.
And they're only going to get better, Mom.
Oh my God.
They're only going to get better.
Oh my God,
we did it. Oh my God, the perspective is in the world.
From Dubai's
Mom,
chair.
it's born. It's born. No more talking about this podcast. It's out.
And you know it's weekly.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited.
I don't like posting content. How long does it take for me to post something on Instagram or whatever? And I was so excited to post.
God.
So, Mom, I don't think we understand how huge this is for us.
This is huge.
Just you and I, that we finally posted.
Yep.
right? We finally filmed it
Yep.
with the fever at an
Yes.
unideal time.
And it wasn't supposed to work out today.